Cik. Cik, cik. Cik, 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 like this, cik, 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 cik.
distinguished guests, the event will begin shortly. We kindly ask all attendees to take their seats. Please make sure your communication device in silent mode. Thank you.
Hadirin yang terhormat, acara akan segera dimulai. Kami mohon perhatian bagi Bapak, Ibu, dan tamu undangan untuk dapat menempati tempat duduk yang telah disediakan dan pastikan segala bentuk alat komunikasi Anda sekalian dalam mode silent. Terima kasih.
Politeknik Negeri Ujung Pandang adalah sebuah perguruan tinggi vokasi yang berlokasi di Kota Makassar, Sulawesi Selatan.
Politeknik Negeri Ujung Pandang berdiri sejak tahun 1997 melaksanakan tridharma perguruan tinggi didukung oleh sumber daya manusia yang terdiri atas 8 guru besar, dosen, dan tenaga pendidik yang memiliki kualifikasi dan kompetensi keahlian yang sesuai dengan kebutuhan.
Atas usaha dan kerja kerasnya, Politeknik Negeri Ujung Pandang berhasil mendapatkan akreditasi baik sekali dan menempati posisi perguruan tinggi vokasi terbaik 3 pada tahun 2022 menurut vokasi.id.
Politeknik Negeri Ujung Pandang memiliki 2 kampus, yaitu Kampus 1 sebagai kampus utama dengan luas lahan sebesar 7,8 hektar dan Kampus 2 dengan luas lahan mencapai 32 hektar.
Politeknik Negeri Ujung Pandang terdiri atas 6 jurusan dan 29 program studi sebagai berikut.
1. Teknik Sipil terdiri atas 2 program studi Diploma 3 yang akan lulus dengan gelar AMDT dan 3 program studi Sarjana Terapan yang akan lulus dengan gelar STRT serta 1 program studi Magister Terapan yang akan lulus dengan gelar MTRT.
2.
warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Shalom, Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, greetings of virtue.
Selamat pagi para hadirin yang kami hormati. Yang terhormat Wakil Direktur Politeknik Negeri Ujung Pandang. Yang terhormat Direktur Kemitraan dan Penyelarasan Dunia Usaha Dunia Industri Pendidikan Tinggi Vokasi. Yang kami hormati Profesor Lorne Cummings, PhD FCPA CA. Yang kami hormati Profesor Hattori Tsuyoshi. Yang kami hormati Profesor Dr. Insinyur Lilik Sudiajeng, Master Engineering. Yang kami hormati Profesor Nuraza Abdurrahman dan seluruh peserta konferensi yang kami hormati. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Shalom, Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, salam kebajikan.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, let us express our praises and gratitude to the Almighty God for His blessings and grace, allowing us to gather today in this event. My name is Citra Wardani Ardiati, along with my partner, Yunus Zainlet Nivinluri, serve as the master ceremony for today's conference.
Selamat pagi kami ucapkan kepada para hadirin sekalian. Pertama-tama, mari kita panjatkan puji dan syukur kehadirat Tuhan Yang Maha Esa atas berkat dan rahmat-Nya sehingga kita dapat berkumpul pada acara hari ini. Saya Yunus Zainlet Nivinluri bersama dengan rekan saya, Citra Wardani Ardiati, selaku pembawa acara pada acara hari ini.
On behalf of the organizing committee, we warmly welcome you to the second Makassar International Conference on Applied Sciences MCAS 2024 with the theme Synergizing Research and Innovation for Mitigating Climate Change and Fostering Circular Economy. We are truly delighted your presence. This event would not have been possible without the support of our distinguished guests, esteemed speakers, and of course, all the participants who have made time to attend.
Atas nama pihak panitia penyelenggara, kami mengucapkan selamat datang di The Second Makassar International Conference of Applied Science MCAS 2024 dengan tema Synergizing Research and Innovation for Mitigating Climate Change and Fostering Circular Economy. Kami sangat senang dengan kehadiran Anda sekalian. Acara ini tentu tidak akan mungkin terselenggara tanpa dukungan dari para tamu undangan, keynote speakers, dan tentu saja seluruh peserta yang telah meluangkan waktu untuk hadir pada kesempatan kali ini.
Before we proceed to the main event, please allow us to share today's agenda.
Sebelum kita melangkah ke agenda selanjutnya, izinkan kami untuk membaca agenda acara kita pada hari ini.
The first, opening by the Master of Ceremony.
Yang pertama, pembukaan oleh MC.
The second, singing the Indonesian National Anthem.
Kedua, menyanyikan lagu kebangsaan Indonesia Raya.
The third, report by the organizing committee chair.
Ketiga, laporan ketua panitia penyelenggara.
The fourth, welcoming speech.
Keempat, sambutan-sambutan.
The fifth, prayer.
Kelima, pembacaan doa.
The sixth, MOU signing ceremony.
Yang keenam, penandatanganan MOU.
The seventh, keynote presentations.
Ketujuh, presentasi dari para keynote speakers.
The eighth, certificate awarding.
Kedelapan, pemberian sertifikat.
The ninth, break.
Kesembilan, istirahat.
And the last, closing.
Dan yang terakhir,
Kindly request all attendees to stand.
agenda kedua, yaitu menyanyikan lagu kebangsaan Indonesia Raya. Hadirin dimohon untuk berdiri.
Thank you. Attendees may now be seated.
Hadirin dipersilakan untuk duduk kembali.
Next, we will have the organizing committee chair's report, delivered by Ms. Dharma, ST, MT, PhD. Ms. Dharma Aryani, the time is yours.
Selanjutnya, laporan Ketua Panitia oleh Ibu Dharma Aryani, ST, MT, PhD. Kepada Ibu Dharma Aryani, waktu dan tempat dipersilahkan.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. The honored Vice Director of PNUP, Politeknik Negeri Ujung Pandang, the honored Director of Partnership and Alignment of Business and Industry, Director General Vocational Higher Education, the esteemed keynote speakers, and all respective participants. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is an honor to welcome you to the second Makassar Conference of Applied Science, a national seminar for research and community service. This year, we gather under the poignant theme, Synergizing Research and Innovation for Mitigating Climate Change and Fostering Circular Economy. This theme is not just a slogan, but it is a call to action, a reminder of the critical role that research and innovation play in shaping a sustainable future, and also reflects our commitment to address critical global challenges of our time. The second MCAS and SMP2M is a multidisciplinary conference hosted by Politeknik Negeri Ujung Pandang. This conference serves as a platform for esteemed academicians to present their pioneering research and innovative solutions. Our agenda includes plenary talks from our distinguished keynote speakers and research presentations, each contributing valuable insights and advancements in their respective and expertise fields. We are also hosting a national seminar which is intended as a means of disseminating research results and community service in the fields of engineering and social sciences. This conference also will be an academic forum to provide opportunities for researchers and practitioners from various sectors such as academia, industry, and also government to initiate mutually beneficial collaboration and partnership. The conference is one of the substantial programs under the Center of Research and Community Service in Politeknik Negeri Ujung Pandang. It is held annually, invites experts and distinguished scholars for the plenary talks, and most of the participants are academicians. This year we have accepted 119 papers for the MCAS conference and 117 papers for the SMP2M, the National Seminar for Research and Community Service, with authors affiliated both from Politeknik Negeri Ujung Pandang and also from external institutions. Ladies and gentlemen, parallel to this conference, we are also hosting an innovation expo, which will be held after the plenary talks. The expo is a showcase of collaborative innovation. It highlights the creative and practical solution developed through partnership between Politeknik Negeri Ujung Pandang academia with the industry and the government. It serves as a tangible representation of the theme that we are exploring, how synergized efforts can yield impactful results. On behalf of the organizing committee, I urge all of you to engage deeply with the presentation and discussion, share your ideas, challenge assumptions, and seek out for collaborations. It is through these exchanges that we will find a solution to complex problems we face in accordance to sustainability and climate change mitigation. I would like to extend my deepest appreciation to all attendees and keynote speakers. Your presence and contributions are what make this conference truly exceptional. And I would also like to extend my highest appreciation to everyone who has contributed to the success of this event. Our heartfelt thanks go to the organizing committee, whose tireless effort and dedication have made this conference possible. Your hard work behind the scenes has ensured a seamless and enriching experience for all. To sum up, a very warm regards from the committee to all of you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Ms. Dharma Aryani, for the report.
Terima kasih kepada Ibu Dharma Aryani atas laporannya.
Now we move to the next agenda, the welcoming speech. The Director of Partnership Alignment of Business and Industry, Vocational Higher Education, will deliver the first speech. Mr. Adi Nuryanto, ST.MT.
Agenda selanjutnya yaitu sambutan-sambutan. Kami mengundang dengan hormat Direktur Kemitraan dan Penyelarasan Dunia Usaha Dunia Industri Pendidikan Tinggi Vokasi, Bapak Adi Nuryanto, ST.MT.
Mr. Adi, the time is yours.
Kepada Bapak Adi Nuryanto dengan hormat dipersilahkan.
Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning. Peace and prosperity may be upon us all. Salam, Om Swastiastu. Namo Buddhaya, salam kebajikan terhadap distinguished guest, Director of State Politeknik Ujung Pandang, Chair of the Conference and Seminar Committee, Vice Directors and Head of Departments, Chairman of the Director of Vocational Higher Education Institution of all its natives, honorable speakers and moderators, colleagues from the media, honored attendees, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, let us offer praise and gratitude to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, the Almighty God, for His blessings, particularly the health and the opportunity given to us to gather here today. I'm honored to be among you here at the second Makassar Conference of Applied Sciences and the second National Seminar on Research and Climate Decision. This that our presence here not just a written agenda, but a testament to our shared spirit of collaboration, innovation, and our desire to make a real impact on society and industry. I'd like to congratulate State Politeknik Ujung Pandang on the organizing of this conference and national seminar, which is reflecting their spirit and dedication to continuously collaborate, innovate, advancing the knowledge, and provide tangible impacts for society and industry. This conference and seminar not only platforms for knowledge sharing, but also spaces to strengthen partnerships. Polytechnic institutions have an essential role in aligning education with industry needs and addressing social challenges through meaningful research and community services. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, in this era of rapid digital transformation and increasingly complex environmental challenges, the synergy between vocational education and industry is of paramount importance in fostering sustainable innovation. The theme of this year's conference, synergizing research and innovation for mitigating climate change and for fostering circular economy, is highly pertinent. It underscores the critical roles that research and innovation play in addressing the urgent challenges posed by climate change, while simultaneously advancing the principle of circular economy. According to the data from the World Economic Forum, the circular economy holds the potential to unlock global economic opportunities exceeding $4.5 trillion by 2030, primarily through the optimization of resource utilization and waste reduction. The State Politeknik Ujung Pandang, through its applied research and its robust partnership with industry, is well positioned to contribute significantly to these global efforts, exemplifying how vocational education can serve as a vital agent of transformative change. Furthermore, strong collaboration between educational institutions and industry is the cornerstone of innovation. According to the UN Environment Programme, innovations rooted in circular economy principles could reduce global greenhouse emissions by 45% by 2050. This projection highlights the profound impact that can be realized through well-coordinated partnerships between vocational education and industry in pursuit of sustainable environmentally conscious solutions. A harmonious partnership between vocational education and industry has the potential to create an innovation ecosystem capable of significantly contributing to climate change mitigation. According to an OECD report, sustainably oriented vocational education programs have resulted in 76% increases in the adoption of eco-friendly technologies across industrial sectors. Here in Indonesia, such synergies have already catalyzed local innovations in both the creative and green technology sectors, ranging from renewable energy production to waste management technologies. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it is important to recognize that within the context of vocational education, innovation is not solely delivered by cutting-edge technologies. It is equally nurtured by leveraging local potentials and cultural wisdom. The strength of vocational education lies in its capacity to harness wealth of local cultural heritage, natural resources, and traditional practices, develop products that are not only unique but also sustainable and economically viable. By striking a balance between creativity, technology, and local wisdom, we can foster innovation that not only contribute positively to climate change mitigation but also achieve high levels of global competitiveness. Locally based innovations that support the circular economy provide sustainable solutions while reinforcing cultural identity. The use of various environmentally friendly materials in crafting contemporary products is increasingly attractive to international markets. The State Politeknik Ujung Pandang holds tremendous potential to facilitate this transformation by empowering students and local communities to develop products that harness natural materials. The synergy between research and innovation can also be realized through community-based systems. By engaging local communities in creative process not only generates opportunities for regional economic growth, but also strengthens the bond between education and society. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, in conclusion, I would like to invite you all to actively participate in the Catalyst for Partnership program we call Berdikari, meaning by our own, which was recently launched in Jakarta. This program aligns closely with the goals of today's conference and is designed to promote the development of and application of appropriate innovations that support sustainable development while contributing to regional economic growth. This program emphasizes synergistic partnerships between vocational education institutions, local governments, businesses, and community stakeholders, including non-governmental organizations. Through this collaboration, we can develop innovations and technologies that provide substantial economic value to both communities and industry, More importantly, this program underscores the vital role of vocational education as a driver of competitive and sustainable economic growth. Finally, I extend my deepest gratitude for you, for your attention, and for the opportunity to address you today. May our discussions not end with the conclusion of this event, but instead spark new ideas that will strengthen the synergy between vocational education, industry, and society. Let us continue to innovate and contribute to a better future for Indonesia and for generations to come. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Mr. Adi Nuryanto, for the speech.
Terima kasih kepada Bapak Adi Nuryanto atas sambutannya.
The second speech will be delivered by the Vice Director of Politeknik Negeri Ujung Pandang, Iin Karmilasari, PhD, and also to officially open the second Makassar Conference of Applied Sciences MCAS 2024. Ms. Iin Karmila, the time is yours.
Sambutan selanjutnya akan disampaikan oleh Wakil Direktur Politeknik Negeri Ujung Pandang, Ibu Iin Karmilasari, PhD, sekaligus membuka secara resmi acara The Second Makassar Conference of Applied Sciences MCAS 2024. Kepada Ibu Iin Karmilasari dengan hormat dipersilahkan.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Director of Politeknik Negeri Ujung Pandang, allow me in this opportunity to welcome all of these conference participants by first praying our grateful and praise to Almighty God for His blessing, grace, and mercy, and also send salawat to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad. Dear keynote speaker, distinguished guests, and participants of the second Makassar Conference of Applied Science, or MCAS, with the theme of synergizing research and innovation for mitigating climate change and fostering circular economy. Politeknik Ujung Pandang is very pleased to host this conference, and we also want to say welcome to all of you in Makassar. The world today facing many challenges. We must address all of agenda to deliver improvement in efficiency and resources productivity. Together with public and private sector, non-governmental and intergovernmental organizational scientists, engineers are responsible to build a better life and safety for society through application of knowledge to convert resource into product and service without compromising the ability of the future generation to cope with their needs. In accordance to vision and mission of Politeknik Negeri Ujung Pandang, which is that we have a mission that Politeknik Negeri Ujung Pandang can become a superior vocational education institution in national, and we can compete globally in the international. So this international conference is one among many efforts that Politeknik Ujung Pandang make in order to make this vision and mission come true. This year conference is also held to celebrate 37th of anniversary of Politeknik Negeri Ujung Pandang. It's a part of our concern on contribution to science and technology for enhancing national productivity and competitiveness in Indonesia. Hopefully, we all can significantly give more contribution to the nation advancement in the not too distant future. To all our distinguished guests and participants and also keynote speaker, thank you for being here and enjoy the conference. Thank you. Next on behalf of Director Politeknik Negeri Ujung Pandang, please allow me to open the conference, and here I would like to invite the head of Research and Community Service Center in Politeknik Negeri Ujung Pandang, Bapak Abdul Qadir Muhammad. Please come to the stage.
Thank you, Ms. In Carmila, for the speech.
Terima kasih kepada Ibu In Carmila Yusri atas sambutannya.
Distinguished guests, the next agenda is the prayer, which will be led by Mr. Amrullah, ST, MT.
Agenda selanjutnya ialah pembacaan doa oleh Bapak Amrullah, STMT.
Mr. Amrullah, the time is yours.
Kepada Bapak Amrullah, waktu dan tempat dipersilahkan.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And good morning, ladies and gentlemen. As we begin our activities today, let us rise our praise to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Please allow us to lead the prayer in accordance with Islam. And for those of you who follow the other faiths, please adjust accordingly. A'udzu billahi minasyaitonir rajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Hamdan syakirin, hamdan na'imin. Hamdan yuwafi ni'mahu wa yukafihu mazida. Ya Rabbana lakal hamdu kama yanbaghi li jalali wajhika wa azimi sultanik. Allahumma salli wa sallim ala nabiyyina Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Ya Allah, Ya Rabbul Alamin, all praise is due to you for granting us safety and the opportunity to gather here to take part in this activity, the second Makassar Conference of Applied Science MCAS 2024. Ya Allah, Ya Rabb, grant us all health from the beginning to the end of this event, and bestow upon your mercy and guidance so that we may receive knowledge and information that we can apply carrying in out our duties at our institution. Allahumma arinal haqqa haqqa warzuqna ittiba'ah wa arinal batila batila warzuqna jatinabah. Ya Allah, Ya Rabbul Alamin, show us the truth as truth and grant us the strength to follow it, and show us falsehood as falsehood and grant us the strength to avoid it. Ya Allah, Ya Rabb, you are the best protector and you are the best forgiver. Protect us all. Ya Allah, Ya Rabb, forgive us. Forgive our sins and mistake. Ya Allah, Ya Rabb, bless every step and activity we take. Allahumma inni as'aluka ilman nafi'a wa rizqan tayyiban wa amalan mutaqabbala. Rabbana hab lana min azwajina wa dhurriyyatina qurrata a'yun waj'alna lil muttaqina imama. Rabbana zalamna anfusana wa illam taghfir lana wa tarhamna lanakunanna minal khasirin. Rabbana zidna ilma warzuqna fahma. Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanah wa fil akhirati hasanah وقنا عذاب النار وصلى الله على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين بالله التوفيق والهداية والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Thank you, Mr. Amrullah, for the prayer.
Kami ucapkan terima kasih kepada Bapak Amrullah.
Moving forward, we will have the signing of the MOU between Politeknik Negeri Ujung Pandang and University Technology Mara, Malaysia. We kindly invite Vice Director of Politeknik Negeri Ujung Pandang with Ms. Siti Sahriana SS, Master Applied Linguistics as Head of International Office, and Ms. Rita ST as a Coordinator of Partnership and Public Relations, and also representatives from University Technology Mara, Malaysia, Prof. Dr. Noraza Abdul Rahman as Deputy Vice Chancellor Research and Innovation, University Technology Mara, Malaysia, to proceed with the ceremony.
Agenda selanjutnya ialah penandatanganan MOU antara Politeknik Negeri Ujung Pandang dan Universiti Teknologi Mara, Malaysia. Dan kami mengundang dengan hormat Wakil Direktur Politeknik Negeri Ujung Pandang bersama dengan Ibu Siti Sahriana SS, Master of Linguistics selaku Head of International Office, dan Ibu Rita ST selaku Kepala Subbagian Kerjasama dan Humas. Sekaligus kami juga mengundang dengan hormat Profesor Dr. Noraza Abdul Rahman selaku Deputy Vice Chancellor Research and Innovation, University Teknologi Mara untuk maju ke depan dan menandatangani MOU.
Distinguished guests, after listening to the welcoming speech and officially opening the event, we now proceed to the main sessions of the conference, keynote presentations. These sessions will provide insightful perspectives from experts in their respective fields, focusing on today's theme, synergizing research and innovation for mitigating climate change and fostering circular economy. We hope all participants will follow the presentations attentively.
Hadirin yang terhormat, setelah mendengarkan sambutan-sambutan dan membuka acara secara resmi, sekarang kita telah memasuki bagian utama dari acara ini, yaitu presentasi dari para keynote speakers. Sesi ini akan memberikan perspektif yang mendalam dari para ahli di bidangnya masing-masing dengan fokus pada tema pada hari ini, Synergizing Research and Innovation for Mitigating Climate Change and Fostering Circular Economy. Kami berharap semua peserta dapat mengikuti sesi ini dengan penuh antusias.
Before we begin the keynote presentations, allow us to introduce today's moderator, Professor A.M. Siddiq Yunus, ST and Master English Sciences, PhD, Prof. Yunus, the time is yours.
Sebelum presentasi dari para keynote speakers, perkenankan kami memperkenalkan moderator pada sesi hari ini. Kami mengundang dengan hormat Bapak Profesor A.M. Siddiq Yunus, ST, Master Engineering of Science, PhD. Kepada Bapak Profesor A.M. Siddiq Yunus, dengan hormat dipersilakan.
Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, first of all, I would like to warmly welcome all participants to the second Makassar Conference of Applied Sciences, MCAS. And I would also like to extend a special greeting for our esteemed keynote speaker today, who have traveled for a great distance from their countries and hometowns. And then to make the most of our time, I will invite our speakers to come. Please, the first speaker is Professor Lon Cummings, PhD, FCPANCA. Please come. Yeah, please. And the second speakers, I invite Professor Hattori Suyoshi. Please come. And then I invite Professor Dr. Insinyur Lili Sudiajeng, Master of Engineering. And in the last, I invite Professor T.S. Dr. Nurazah Abdul Rahman. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, this plenary talks will be delivered by each speaker for 25 minutes. And then I probably will remind you for 5 minutes before the time ends. And then for the first speaker, you can sit, please. For the first speakers, I will read his biography, Professor Lon Cummings, PhD. Professor Lon S. Cummings completed a Doctor of Philosophy PhD in Accounting at Macquarie University. This education positioned him as an expert in the field of sustainable accounting and international financial reporting standards, which is the main focus of his research and academic teaching. For work experience, Professor Lon most recently served as a professor of accounting at Macquarie University until December 2020. During his tenure at the university, he held several strategic positions, including Associate Dean, Research, responsible for research policy and managing a research budget exceeding 1.5 million, Associate Dean, Higher Degree Research, 2010 until 2018, oversaw the HDR program with more than 200 candidates, focusing on increasing enrollment and enhancing research quality, and head of the Department of Accounting and Finance, led the department across teaching, research, and staff development. The second speaker is Professor Hattori Suyoshi from Faculty of Collaboration Regional Innovation, Ehime University, Japan. He will deliver a presentation entitled Weather Commons for a Post-1.5 degrees Celsius World, talking about research and development program for weather modification in Japan. Professor Suyoshi Hattori is a professor in the Department of Environmental Design, Faculty of Collaborative Regional Innovation, Ehime University. He received his PhD from Kyoto University in 2006. His research interests include urban and regional planning and disaster management. He is currently the head of the research unit of regional disaster resilience at Ehime University. He is also working as a project initiator on regional collaboration and governance research for the social implementation of weather modification technology under the Japan Science and Technology Agency Monsud Research and Development Program. Monsud goal aids realization of society safe from the threat of extreme winds and rains by controlling and modifying the weather by 2050. And then we move to the third speaker, Professor Dr. Insinyur Lilik Sudiajeng M.Eng. She is my colleague. She is Secretary of Indonesian Higher Vocational Education Professor Forum. For Professor Dr. Insinyur Lilik Sudiajeng, she is Professor of Agronomics and Work Physiology from Politeknik Negeri Bali, Indonesia. Work experience, permanent lecturer in the Civil Engineering Study Program at Politeknik Negeri Bali since 1987. Head of Center of Business, Industry and International Partnership. Head of the Research Community Service Centers in Politeknik Negeri Bali. President of Indonesian Agronomic Society since 2020. Promoting ergonomics research and application in various sectors across Indonesia. For her educational background, bachelor's degree in civil engineering from Udayana University, Denpasar, Indonesia, completed in 1984. Master degree in agronomics and work physiology from the Faculty of Medicine, Udayana University. Doctorate in agronomics and work physiology from Faculty of Medicine, Udayana University. She also acts as a visiting lecturer for several visiting in Switzerland, Canada, and Japan as well, Prof. Okay, the last speaker will be Professor T.S. Dr. Nuraza Abdurrahman. She is a Deputy Vice Chancellor, Research and Innovation, University Technology Mara, Malaysia. Professor T.S. Dr. Nuraza Abdurrahman is the Deputy Vice Chancellor at University Mara, Malaysia. Previously, she served as the Dean of the Faculty of Chemical Engineering and the Dean of the Industry, Community and Alumni Network ICANN at UETM's College of Engineering. Under her leadership, chemical engineering and petroleum engineering were both ranked in the KS World University by subject, with chemical engineering in the top 250 and petroleum engineering in the top 150 worldwide. Internationally, she is recognized as a chartered energy engineer and chartered petroleum engineer by the Energy Institute in the United Kingdom. Additionally, she is a national expert in non-destructive testing and actively participates in various community projects. As a researcher, she has secured over 50 research projects with a total funding exceeding ringgit Malaysia 7 million. That's all for the biography for our speakers today. To make the most of our time, I will give time for the Professor Cummings for first speaker to deliver his speech. The presence slide, please.
Start off by saying it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you very much for the invite, and I'm really looking forward to today. So thank you, Dharma, for inviting us out. Wait for the PowerPoint to go on.
So after the our speakers deliver a speech, we will have like 20 minutes for question and answer, and then if you will eager to answer ask a question, then please mention your name and later you mention your institution.
Thank you. Okay, good morning. I'm just conscious of time, so I'm presenting today on accounting for water in the circular economy. So a bit of background, I'm an accountant, not an engineer, so I'm coming from sustainable development from an accounting perspective. But I wanted to talk a little bit today about how accountants can play a role in the circular economy by accounting for resources in a different way. Okay, so I'll be covering resource accounting, challenges for resource accounting, water availability, water allocation, and water accounting standards, which is a new mechanism we're using in Australia to measure water usage in public utilities, and the role of water in a circular economy, and then how that feeds into climate-related risks, which we're required to disclose as accountants in financial statements. So obviously we're all familiar with the 17 Sustainable Development Goals at the United Nations, and one of those is in water, having the need for clean water and sanitation. So the focus today on water accounting, in a sense that directly relates to the Sustainable Development Goal number 6 of having clean water and sanitation as part of the Global Sustainable Development Goals. So from an accounting perspective, when we see resources, it's a little bit different than from financial statements. So from financial statements or corporate accounting, on the right there you could see that normally we have the managers and the shareholders, and managers report to shareholders through reporting mechanisms called the financial statements. There's a separation of ownership and control, and that's the effective aspect of that. That's the normal aspect of financial statements. When we're talking about natural resources, we can't necessarily have that same reporting mechanism. So we have the community which uses natural resources, but those natural resources are often managed by public utilities, whether it be forestry, whether it be sewage facilities, or the agricultural departments. So they do report, but their reporting mechanisms are a little bit different, and it's through very much a democratic process. So from an accounting perspective, sustainability and resources provide a unique opportunity for us. So I'll talk a little bit today about water accounting and reporting and how that can play a role in the circular economy. But also accountants are increasingly exposed to carbon accounting and carbon trading through the trading schemes. We also are involved in biodiversity, natural capital accounting at the country level. We're also involved in valuing threatened and endangered species as well, and how to report on those. There are also potential areas for soil erosion and land values, but also we play a role in the supply chain as well, and also trying to account for pollutants and externalities, which cause costs to the economy but not necessarily being embraced on the financial statements. So with pollutants and externalities, the big problem is trying to cost the pollution. So what value do we place on pollution? Any information that we place in the financial statements, whether that be on a company or in a public utility or in government, when we think of accounting, we tend to think of monetary measurements. But that's very problematic when we're dealing with pollution, because we can never really capture true value. A company causes pollution, but it doesn't necessarily bear all those costs. So that pollution is borne by society through increased medical costs, loss of productivity, etc. So it's very, very difficult to incorporate sustainable costs into financial statements because there's no direct mechanism there. So over the years there's been an increasing shift towards ESG, environmental, social governance, and triple bottom line accounting and reporting as a means to report this information on financial statements. But a lot of this information so far is being on reporting mechanisms, that is through disclosures, not necessarily on measurement. And again, as mentioned, as we do measurement, we really have problems regarding monetary measurement. So there's been an increasing reliance on physical measurement. So when we think of accounting, we think of to account, but accounting doesn't always have to be dollars or monetary or yen or renminbi or rupiah. It can also be in physical units. So the key issue is around quantification. So the key challenges for us as accountants in resource accounting is what decisions users need to make. So in normal accounting terms, in an organisation, we buy, we sell, we hold assets. But in resource accounting, effectively what we're moving is trying to determine risks, investment risks, trade resource allocations, how we change production to come up with more efficient and effective mechanisms that reduce wastage. And also, government plays a role in intervening into markets and boycotting products where they're not sustainable. And also, governments have the right to revoke licences of organisations that are not environmentally sustainable. So the decision is a little bit different. Also, the unit of analysis it differs as well. So in a normal firm environment, accounting environment, corporate environment, there's a legal structure. There's a parent company with subsidiaries, whereas when we're dealing with resource accounting, there's no boundaries. We don't have boundaries around where air is. Air's up in the air, and also water is another thing. Water is under the ground. Where do we determine what the boundaries are in water? It's very, very difficult. So this is problematic when we try and incorporate financial accounting and reporting concepts in a sustainable accounting, in sustainability areas. So the key challenge for resource accounting is how do we account for forecasts? Sorry, I've gone too far forward there. Please move this. Where's that? Okay, yeah. Yeah, okay. Right, so the key challenge of resource accounting is how do we account for forecasts? In accounting environment, we have budgets, forward estimates. That's very difficult in resource accounting. So the key challenges for water accounting are similar. What are the decisions that users need to make? What's the appropriate unit of analysis that we use, whether it's monetary or physical? And how do we account for forecasts? So there's a big debate about how we value or trying to put a measurement on the environment. There's people that argue that yes, we can value the environment, and quantifying nature allows us to better identify costs, savings and increases the relevance of accounts. However, there are other arguments on the other side that say that no, it's difficult to measure and value the environment because they're part of our heritage and culture. They're part of the commons. And the risk that we have in trying to value the environment is it leads to commodification and exploitation. So it leads to unreliable financial data, and financial data always must be both relevant and reliable. So there's problems. Economists do use various estimates and models to assume estimates and assumptions about the environment. So in economics, they use hedonic pricing and travel cost and contingent valuation to try and come up with a valuation of the environment, but it's still very, very random. It's not accurate. So if you take a look at water, the cycle of water, you can see there that the water cycle, we have runoff, we have snow, it runs into the systems, it runs into the oceans, part of it's evaporated, part of it goes up into condensation, which goes up into the clouds, water is stored there, and then it comes back down again. So there's a natural cycle there of water. And it moves from the surface and the groundwater up into the atmosphere and then back again. And climate change affects the flow of the water, the flow of that circular activity. So a couple of statistics here. So fresh water, 75% of the planet Earth is covered in water, the oceans of the world. 97.5% of that is ocean, which is salt water. So 2.5% of all water is fresh water, so not a lot. And 70% of that fresh water is ice in the polar caps, in the North Pole or South Pole, or up in the Himalayas. So 30% is effectively available for use. And 1% of that is really available for consumption. 70% of that consumption is used for production, and 22% of that 1% is actually used for human consumption. So 0.08% of water on this planet is actually available for us humans to consume, that is through drinking water. So that's not a lot. So that is potable water that we can consume. So the problem that we face is that we're going to have water stress around the world. There's 3 billion people predicted to live in water-stressed areas by 2050. In Australia, Australian water usage is expected to increase from 24,000 gigalitres to 40,000 gigalitres by 2050. That's to do with population increase and also increases in manufacturing and other uses, agriculture. So water stress is expected to be exacerbated by climate change. The greater the climate change, the warming up of the planet, the less water we have effectively to use. So how we use that water and how we account for that water is going to be absolutely critical. And this diagram here shows where water stress is occurring. And as you can see here, the water stress is occurring mainly around the equatorial regions of the world. So, and that's natural to expect because it's where the heat is. But it's also, if you take a look at that diagram there, it's also where a lot of political upheaval is occurring as well. And so this increases the risk of wars, of conflict, and a lot of the conflict is over natural resources, whether that be land or whether that be increase to water. And we're not immune from it in Australia either. We have water restrictions. We've had water restrictions before in the Murray-Darling Basin, which is our prime water source in the eastern seaboard of Australia. But as you can see there, North Africa, across the South Asia, across China, and across Central America, South America, parts of South America, is a lot of water stress. So the World Water Development Report 2020 basically says that climate change will affect the availability, quality and quantity of water for basic human needs, and the hydrological changes induced by climate change will add challenges to the sustainable management of water resources, which are already under severe pressure. So water quality will be adversely affected as a result of higher water temperatures, reduced dissolved oxygen, and thus a reduced self-purifying capacity of freshwater bodies. So climate change has a direct effect on the water usage and the water availability in the households. That's just another diagram to show where the hydro-political interaction there, that is basically where there's a likelihood of political interaction or wars or conflicts around water. And as you can see there, Central America, parts of Africa and parts of North Asia. So the Global Reporting Initiative, which is an international global reporting initiative for accountants, basically stipulate a number of indicators that relate to water that we need to document. One is the water withdrawn from the environment by the source, water sources significantly affected by withdrawals, how we recycle and reuse water, where the water is being discharged and the quantity of that water, and the impact of discharges. But there's significant issues in how we report water. There's very much a lack of an appropriate mechanism to report the aggregation of all this information. So it's difficult for organisations, for governments, for regional entities to be able to assess the impact of water because we don't have an effective mechanism, or not a unified mechanism. So in Australia, for example, we have multiple towns, industries and irrigators that use water. So water is used by in various ways in households, but also we have a huge agricultural sector that takes up a lot of water. There is water sharing plans between entities, but again, these are not well documented. And we have mechanisms for trading water as well, water rights, shares and dividends, etc. A little bit like the stock market. We can trade natural resources. But you can see there in Australia, for example, that a lot of the population is distributed around the eastern seaboard. A lot of the water consumption is. And as mentioned earlier, the main water supply mechanism in Australia on the eastern seaboard is the Murray-Darling Basin. A lot of water is up in northern Australia, of course, the monsoon season up in Darwin, but not a lot of people live up there. So that's a problem, where we have a lot of water being delivered, or rainfall and monsoon tropical seasons up north, but nobody lives there. In Australia, most people live on the eastern seaboard. So the problem is there's lots of water up north, but how do we get it down to Sydney and Melbourne and Canberra and Brisbane? Very difficult. So there's problems in using price to allocate water. One, there's monopoly providers, that is the public utilities, they control water. The demand curve is inelastic, so it's not a constant use of water. It depends on the seasons and it depends on the supply of water. Also, as I said, the water users, part of it goes to agriculture, part of it goes to industry, part of it goes for human consumption. So there's a lumpy investments in supply chain, in dams and desalination plants, and a lot of the pricing of water relies a lot on cost recovery rather than demand management. So when we think of pricing products, we price the products based on our demand, how much we can sell them for. But with water, a lot of water that we use is based on cost recovery. So we, in a sense, underprice water in many respects. So water accountants can come from many disciplines, and increasingly they're coming from the accounting profession, but largely they've been coming from engineering backgrounds in the past. So they work for private sector water firms. But they use water a little bit differently than we would use financial information. And in Australia, water resource information is supplied by over 200 utilities, and that feeds into our Australian Water Resource Information System, which produce water information, data and reports and forecasts that are hopefully there to improve water management. And in Australia, we have the National Water Account, which is like a system of national accounts or terms of trade, which provides detailed insight into the management of Australia's natural water resources. It answers, where were the changes in water flows, who has access to water, what are the plans that are there to govern water, how much has been traded and how much has been abstracted for use. But we have developed a number of years ago a Water Accounting Standards Board. So for those of you that are in accounting, you'll be familiar with the Financial Accounting Standards Board, which produces financial accounting standards to govern how we prepare financial statements. In Australia, we have a Water Accounting Standards Board, which has produced a set of accounts that mirror financial statements, which is quite unique. So what they have done is borrowed financial accounting and reporting methodology and used it into how we report water. So we have definitions of water assets and water entities and water liabilities, the same way as on the financial statements you would have an asset and a liability and a revenue and expense. So this is borrowing accounting terminology and using it in a water framework. And if you take a look at that, this looks very familiar with a balance sheet of a company. So if you take a look at a balance sheet of a company, it has assets and liabilities and net assets and equity. What you're seeing there is water being displayed in a financial statement format, but not in dollars. It's not being used as monetary terms. You can see up there, it shows there, 2 our X11 ml. That's megalitres. So it's the megalitres, a unit quantity, a physical quantity of water being displayed in a financial statement format. So that 2.175 total surface water assets are 2,175 megalitres of water that a particular entity has under its control. So again, this is the principle here is using financial statement methodology to represent physical quantities of water. And we have various regions, and the Ord region in Western Australia is one example, where they've produced a statement of water assets and liabilities with net assets of water being 7.5 million megalitres. And they measure what water's coming into their dams, what's going out, what's being used, the level of rainfall, how much is being evaporated, how much is being used in in agriculture. Then we also have a statement of changes in water assets and liabilities. For those of you that understand accounting, this is like an income statement, a profit and loss statement. Same methodology, but what we're using here is a statement of changes in water assets and liabilities. And Ord region again shows where that changes can flow. So the statement of water flows, water inflows and outflows, similar to a cash flow statement. So you're all familiar with, some of you who are in accounting are familiar with cash flow statements, how cash is generated within a firm. This is another example of how this can be, this information can be displayed in a water format. And again, statement of water flows. We also have notes to the accounts of water that show changes in the notes to the accounts. Another example there. Sorry, I can't see. Okay, sorry. It's all right. It's all right. Thank you. It looks very nice, those sandwiches. That's right. Okay. So in Macquarie, when I was at Macquarie University, we prepared a water accounting report for the Australian Bureau of Meteorology, which we assessed the water accounting standard and found that the information, 5 minutes, yes, found that the information was very, very relevant. So this is very new, cutting edge type of reporting that uses financial methodology, financial statement and statement formats to represent public utilities and movements in natural resources. So so how does this relate back to a linear economy, and how does it relate back to a circular economy? Well, in a linear economy, value is on the left-hand side of that triangle. So in manufacturing products, we extract resources, and then we manufacture those products, then we assemble those products, and then we sell those products. And there's a value added each stage of that process. And then the user is at the top of the pyramid there, they use that product. But then in a normal linear economy, we throw those products away. So there's a destruction of value. So water plays a role in the extraction, manufacturing, assembly and retail process of the linear economy. If we're moving to a circular economy, then effectively what we've got to be doing is reusing, refurbishing, remanufacturing and recycling products. And that, by doing that, that places less pressure on water usage. So this contributes to a circular economy. Tying this back into water accounting, why is this important? Well, if we're able to better manage water usage and better measure water usage, then this feeds into a circular economy, because part of a circular economy is the need to reduce water. But to need to reduce water, we need to be able to assess how much water we have and how we're using it more effectively. So a circular economy is all about redefining value, impact and risk. And as mentioned there on the top section there on value, a circular economy requires us to quantify the value generated with circular business models beyond monetary terms. And that's what water accounting is doing. It's moving beyond monetary terms to physical measurements of megalitres and gigalitres of water. From an impact, we're required in a circular economy to recognise and measure and to capture long-term social, environmental and economic impacts organisations have on stakeholders. Adopting this methodology of a statement of water flows, statement of water assets and liabilities allows us to do that, because financial statements traditionally have been a way of showing accountability to stakeholders and to shareholders. So water accounting is a way of showing accountability to society, to citizens. And from a risk perspective, holistic risk assessments that reflect a company's total long-term impact in relationship with the human and natural environment, not solely on financial terms. Okay. So climate-related risks include transition risks, physical risks, and then these flow into balance sheet, cash flow, and income statement. So we're required as accountants to prepare to assess climate-related risks as financial statement accountants under the new requirements for disclosure. So what we're saying is that we can adopt this financial statement model to measure water accounting and still identify transition risks, physical risks and opportunities as well. And these are some of the definitions of the risks. Transition risks are policy risks that restrict action contributing to climate change, low carbon technology, shifting market demands and damage to reputation. And physical risks include risks to extreme weather events such as hurricane, flooding and bushfires. And flooding there would be able to capture that in the water accounting model. And chronic risk including long-term shifts such as sea level rises and chronic heat waves, which in turn affects water quality and value, and we tend to price it at cost. And also pollution. So any externalities has been difficult. So we move to physical related measurements in an accounting format for water accounting. It still involves measurement and disclosure, but we don't measure it in monetary terms. We measure it in physical terms. Accounting doesn't mean dollars. Accounting is to account, and that could also be in physical terms. So organisations are increasingly required to disclose climate-related risks, opportunities and financial impacts. These involve water. Water plays a critical role in the circular economy, so therefore we need better measurement systems and a reduction in water usage. And hopefully in Australia, with the development of this water accounting framework, we've moved at least a part way to try and address that, the need for water stress. So I hope it's been beneficial with this presentation to you and showing to you from an accounting perspective how accountants can play a role in the circular economy by better measuring assets, natural assets such as water. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Prof. Lon Cummings, for your very good presentation. Sambil menunggu second speaker, silahkan untuk mengambil tehnya. Ya. Karena kita sudah lepas break. Okay, for the next presentation, I invite Professor Hattori Tsuyoshi. Professor, time is here, Professor.
Okay, terima kasih. So I'm very honored to have been given this opportunity to make a speech in this conference. So yeah, this is probably my sixth visit to Makassar. So I have many students and friends here. So I would be so happy to be here with all of you. As already introduced, I'm now involved in the project of weather control with the aim of mitigating the water-related disaster, which is expected to become severe due to climate change. So I want to introduce this project and also want to discuss about the relationship between our society and the weather and new technologies. But I want to, not yet. So, okay. Maybe maybe they have, okay. So originally I'm from a civil engineering background, but I studied social sciences like psychology or economics, and I tried to lead methodology into the issue of urban and regional design or promotion. And today's talk is also approached from such interdisciplinary perspective. Okay. So please wait. Maybe it's difficult for me to proceed without a slide from now.
Gimana PPT-nya?
This one? Okay. Yeah. So I will start my presentation with this slide. I already explained. So how should I? Okay. So I skip self-introduction. Okay, so my town is located in Shikoku Island, you know. So very small island, 1/10 the size of Sulawesi Island, and is famous for castle or spa or mandarin orange. And I wanna move back to the main subject. I will introduce the background of this project. The increase in precipitation due to climate change is predicted all the world. And the effect of climate change this is projected by Japanese Meteorological Agency, and okay, so heavy precipitation frequency increase. So annual maximum daily precipitation increase of approximately 12% in case of 2-degree warming scenario, or 27% in case of 4-degree warming scenario. And the precipitation over 50 millimeter per hour event increased by approximately 1.6 or 2.6 times. So in fact, weather-related disasters have occurred all the world last year or this year or just last month. So also in Japan and also in Vienna, I just visited there on September 15, and I have encountered heavy rainfall disaster there. And also this year, Myanmar, so fatalities over, I heard over 300 people, and also US, Hurricane Helene. So in this context, the Japanese government initiated a moonshot project to prevent water-related heavy rainfall disaster, which will become severe for future. That's the realization of a society safe from the threat of extreme winds and rains by controlling and modifying the weather by 2050. So this project aims to change the timing, range, and intensity of typhoons and extreme rain, significantly reducing disaster damage. And moonshot R&D program has been initiated by the government for encouraging disruptive innovation. There are now 10 goals, and we are goal 8. And goal 8 has now 8 R&D groups. And I belong to one group of project manager Yamaguchi from Kyoto University. That's the heavy rainfall control for living together with isolated convective rainstorm and line-shaped rain band. So this project try to restrain the growth of heavy rainfall by working in the early stage of its development. And I'm in charge of research of, ELSI, it's ethical, legal, and social issue, or RRI. So research, responsibility, innovation, and try to promote social consensus around the technological development and implementation. So this project tried to develop 4 major control technology offshore curtain. So I can't read the character. Please read. So firstly, offshore curtain, and also offshore wind turbine, and cloud seeding, and finally onshore fan. So mobile or maybe it's difficult to yeah, building monitors, building mountain fans, yeah, with the aim to suppress the heavy intensity and frequency of heavy rainfall. So I want to briefly introduce the simulation result made by technological researchers. So this is the effect of wind speed control using wind turbines. So we found 27% suppression of peak time precipitations. And its effect of offshore curtain, also 34% suppression of precipitation is found. And the effect of cloud seeding, a significant decrease of warm colored area. It means over 190 millimeter per 20 hours is also shown. So yeah, but I wanna pose a question to you. So will weather control such weather control technologies really make us happy? And maybe this is YouTube. I wanna share one promotion video released by Japanese government. So it can be connected to internet. I'm not sure. If you push the button, I think it works. Maybe no? Is it disconnected? You cannot push. It's a button. Maybe it doesn't work. Oh, okay. I will skip this video. But this new technology of weather control can have a potential to transform our relationship with the weather. And so there are two possible worlds, the world of near sky or the world of distant sky. And so left-hand side so means stronger relationship with the sky through such a control technology. So we feel and enjoy the sky and the rain close at hand. Also, if heavy rain is expected, we pray for no damage, and also we evacuate from the heavy rain. But the world of distant sky, so such kind of new technology weaken our relationship with the sky. So we become insensitive to the sky and rain and become estranged from it. And if heavy rain is expected, we try to control it so it doesn't fall and we don't evacuate. So which word do you prefer? So any person who prefers the left-hand word? Thank you very much. And right-hand word? Okay. Oh, some people. But how should I say? But maybe we should sustain the world of near sky. We should take care of our weather, and also we should evacuate from the heavy rainfall, even if we implement such kind of new technology. Okay, so how can we avoid a technocratic approach and maintain the human-weather relationship? I wanna consider. So our relationship with the weather can be broadly divided into three types. Controlling the weather, self-centered unilateral involvement, and caring for the weather, interdependent, complementary interaction characterized by mutual benefit and compassion. And finally, pacifying or calming the weather means where there are all felt respectful interactions. And yeah, we have long been familiar with the way of such pacifying the weather. So, for example, when I was a child, I hung a paper doll, in Japanese, teru balls, in the hope for fine weather. Or maybe Indonesia also, rain making has been practiced from ancient times. So we should value such kind of tradition or wisdom. So yeah. Okay. And the way of pacifying the weather, so it's related with the sense of nature. In Japanese, shizen, and in Indonesian, alam. Correct? Yeah. So shizen in Japanese means spontaneous state of things. What is without human influence, or what cannot be anticipated by human capacities. So humans and spirits can be included or not. Gods are included in tenchi or season. But also alam, so everything that exists in the sky and in the earth with minimum human intervention. So I think Japanese concept of shizen and Indonesian concept of alam so similar. And so it means we can share the way of pacifying or calming the weather. Yeah, so I'm trying to propose a concept of weather commons as a pathway, not controlling but pacifying the weather. So this concept has been developed in the field of social sciences, and originally meaning common land or natural resources accessible to all members of a society. More precisely, it is defined as a social system in which resources are collectively owned, managed in ways that foster cooperation, trust, and shared responsibility. And many successful cases of sustainable management of commons have been reported in the world, where local people have proactively and adaptively managed these natural resources as commons with self-governed rules and customs that they have developed over time by themselves. So in the age of anthropogenic climate change, the weather also can be the commons subject to our management. And while the concept of weather commons has not yet been established, potential for weather commons are all around us. For example, this photo is a rain garden which became gradually popular in Japan. Also, we used to develop traditional wisdom to prevent a flood disaster by allowing flooding to some extent using, for example, uncontinuous levee, not modern continuous levee. So as such, we have developed a traditional wisdom and culture to live well with the weather and heavy rain through enjoying the rain or accepting flood to a certain extent. So this will form the basis of our concept of weather commons. So yeah, this figure which has been developed through workshop with related not related researcher shows the world view of weather commons. So I cannot explain the detail, but this figure tries to show that we are already connected to the weather in various ways. And it's important to find the appropriate modification or control technology in such a rich relationship between us and the weather woven by the weather commons. And also the weather commons has multiple scales, that distant sky and near sky, as I have already explained, and the vertical level from near sky, which is physically or psychologically close to us, to distant sky that is far away, or a horizontal level, because weather modification, weather control may have an impact that transcendent or across one watershed. So we have to develop collaborative framework between different watersheds or different areas. So the weather common may play a role in integrating scientific knowledge and local knowledge, and like a modern flood control system, and also historical flood control system like discontinuous levees, and also we need to promote resident preparedness. And finally, weather modification technology. Through such kind of integration, so weather modification technology can be our last resort in case where other approach cannot work, invalid. Okay, as well as technology development for distant sky, we try to develop more human scale technology so that ordinary citizens can participate in this project. So this shows frugal technology is developed by my collaborator or artist in New Zealand, and so this is a camera for taking only the sky. So maybe it's difficult to understand, but it's a camera, and the wire is connected to the camera, and we have to kiss the wire, kiss the cloud to take a photo of the sky. So it's very odd or weird, but yeah, we use this material on the street. Many people gather around us. So I think so it's easy to make a friend or a commoner, weather commoner. So I think this is my world view of weather commons.
5 minutes to go, Prof.
Okay. And also we have conducted a workshop in New Zealand to develop a new style of umbrella. So one person umbrella or a bicycle style umbrella. Oh, okay. To boy. So yeah, it's modern technology of umbrella. Innovative. Yeah, it's disruptive innovation. And also bus type umbrella. Okay, it works. Yeah. Okay. Okay. But so I consider this project as a relationship between nature, society, and the technology, and yeah, toward convivial technology, and yeah, modern technology may leave society and nature behind. But if so, even if we develop new technology of weather modification, but it cannot contribute to mitigation of weather disaster. So we need to enhance the sustainability of nature and also resilience or autonomous of society, as well as trying to develop technology of weather control. That's the convivial technology, and that's the weather commons world. Yeah, so that's all of my presentation. So let's study our sky.
Thank you very much, Professor Hatsari. Very nice presentation. Okay, next we move to the third presenter, Professor Dr. Insinyur Lili Suharji. Dan mohon kepada para peserta untuk tetap tenang dan terus menyimak dengan baik presenter kita.
Okay. So while waiting for the PPT, let me start first. Let me say hello to my colleagues here. Well, thank you, Prof. Siddiq. He's also my colleague here. The youngest professor in Politeknik Negeri Ujung Pandang, yeah.
This is the younger.
So sorry. Oh, the previous one, yeah? Okay. Yeah, our distinguished guest, our keynote speaker, Prof. Lorne Kaming, and then Prof. Haturi Suyosi, and also Ibu Prof. Noraza Abdul Rahman. And also here with us, the former director of PNUP, yeah, Professor Angsar. Yeah, and Ibu Dharma is the chair of this conference, and of course with all organizing committee who already working hard to prepare everything for today, and also all my colleagues, lecturers, and then students, and maybe here also an industry, the partner of PNUP. Yeah. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Yeah, it's an honor for me to be here among all of you. And thank you to the director of PNUP and also Ibu Dharma, who gave the opportunity for me to deliver my presentation today, especially about the community service activities. So again, it's an honor for me to discuss, to share knowledge and experiences in doing community service activities as the implementation of the findings of our research. So in a very short time, about 20 minutes, yeah, I would like to deliver my presentation in the title, From Classroom to Community, the role of higher education in promoting sustainable MSMEs, UMKM in Indonesia, within a circular economy. So I think for all of us, especially the lecturers of Indonesia, it's time for us, it is the right time for us to take part, in promoting sustainable UKM through the community service activities. Okay, I think, yeah, it's the right time for us, and it is important for us to support and promoting the sustainable UMKM in Indonesia. Why? Because UMKM has a crucial role in the national economic. Here is the data that UMKM, I call it UMKM, it's more easier, yeah, than MSMES. So in Indonesia, it's UMKM. So micro, small, medium enterprises. So the short one is UMKS. Yeah. Sorry, UKM in Indonesia. Yeah. So the UMKM has a crucial for the growth of national economic in Indonesia by representing about 99% of all business units and contribute 60.5%, yeah, to GDP and employ about 96.9% of the national workforce. These trends is also evident in some big countries like European and United States. In the European Union, about 99% of companies are UMKM, accounting for around 60% of private sector employment. And while in the US, over 30 million small businesses create approximately 1.5 million jobs annually and contribute about 50% of GDP. From those data, the role of UMKM is very important. That's why it is the right time for us, the lecturer, academia, all stakeholders, to take part to strengthening, to promoting the sustainability of UMKM. Yeah, should be smooth, very slow. Okay, however, the UMKM face some challenges, yeah. Okay. It doesn't work. This one, yes? This one, right? Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. Thank you. Yeah. So, beside the very important role of UMKM, actually UMKM also face some challenges, including economic uncertainty, and then supply chains of disruption, access to financing, digital transformation, talent acquisition, and regulatory compliance, change in the customer behavior and market, and also cybersecurity threat. That's why UKM, ya UMKM ya, usaha menengah, mikro menengah ya, atas ya. So it still need more education and then training and also mentoring. So of course it presents the opportunity for us, lecturer, academia, and all stakeholders, including industry, to take part in supporting, enhancing UMKM capacity as well as the global competitiveness. Sorry. Yeah. Refers to the invitation from Ibu Dharma. Today, I would like to share, to discuss my experiences in doing the community service activities. And my presentation today has some objective. They are providing a very brief overview about the condition and the role of UKM in national economic development, and then provide an overview of the various problems faced by UMKM, and then providing an overview of opportunity for stakeholders, especially for universities, to contribute to strengthening the capacity as well as the global competitiveness of UMKM through community service activities, and sharing good practices related to community service program based on the findings of our research. Bapak Ibu, ladies and gentlemen, let me give a highlight about the 3 mandatory tasks for Indonesian lecturers. Most of us got these 3 mandatory tasks, included education, research, and community services. And I think it's the time for us, the right time for us to push the community services, to place the community services as important as the research, because in the past, you know, community services a little bit left behind, less important than research, yeah, but I think we should go to the new paradigm of community service activities. In doing education, most of us, based on the theory and then continued by the practice and then simulation in the form of project-based learning or teaching factory, especially for the vocational higher education as Politeknik in Indonesia. However, the material of teaching learning should be developed and continuously, and we can do it by doing the research as well as the community services. In doing the research, we can do both fundamental and applied research, and the finding should be validated in the real environment, in the real condition, in the real industrial environment. So we can make sure that the findings of our research can give the benefit and also take part in the national economic development. And from the community services, we can find out, we can get the new idea, the new data, the new phenomena that can be used, can be bring back to the classroom to enrich our material of teaching learning, and as well as to use it as the basic data to do the development research. And by applying this model, I think this Tridharma Perguruan Tinggi, we call it in Indonesia is Tridharma Perguruan Tinggi. It is a quite excellent model actually. By implementing this Tridharma Perguruan Tinggi, so the material of teaching learning process is always updated. So our alumni will have the knowledge, the competence, the practical skill fit to the real needs of industry. I think it's quite excellent actually, although it makes us very, very busy every day. At the same time, we should do this Tridharma Perguruan Tinggi. Now let us go to the new paradigm of community services. Yeah. Nowadays, recently, all the grant of community services in Indonesia launched by the Ministry of Education, Culture and Research and Technology should be based on the findings of the research, involve the community as a team toward the establishment of trust and partnership or relationship. And then the main objective of community service should be increase the level of community empowerment quantitatively, not only describe, but analysis, so we can deliver the real data quantitatively. And then should be based on the potential challenge, opportunities faced by the community, and toward the economic independence, which leads to increasing the comfort, welfare, and quality of life of the community. By those activities, we can provide economic impact toward sustainable independence. So the university, lecturer, academia can take part in developing national economic. Yeah, I think I will skip this because Prof. Lon already delivered it through his presentation. It is similar, yeah. There are many definitions of circular economic, but all of this should be enforcing the rightful approach, making solid connection, and contributing both to customers' need and well-being of the environment. So I will skip this one, and also this. Yeah, 3 or 4 slides about the circular economic. Yeah, the main goal is that in doing community services, it is recommended that we apply the basic concept of circular economic. Yeah. Now let me introduce the model of the synergize between research and community services. As I discussed with Prof. Hattori, it is not easy to synergize between research and community services. But if our research based on the real problem that faced by industry, faced by community, I think it is not too difficult to connect our research with the community service activities. This model already implemented by me and my team started from 2013. Yeah, firstly, we do the fundamental research, and then the finding should be implemented through the community service activities, and so on and so on. So soon after finish the research and get the findings of the research, we should try to validate the finding into the real environment. You know, sometimes our research mostly based on the laboratory tests or workshop tests, and then if we implement it in the real environment, industrial environment, sometimes we should develop, we should redesign, refers to the real condition of the community, industry, UMKM, and so on. And with this model, at the same time, we can develop our research as well as implemented our research so that the benefit of the finding of the research directly can give the impact to the economy, to the UMKM. And this is, next slide, is our roadmap of our research as well as our community services. This is, yeah. I'm looking for the pointers, but I could not find it. This one? No? Sorry. No pointers, yeah, okay, no pointers. Yeah, the blue color is our research, started from 2013 to 2024. Yeah, I think this research, our research, it is one of my research focus, Prof. Lon and also Prof. Hattori. It's very close to yours, yeah. So we start research in groundwater crisis, started from 2013 until now. And we would like to extend till 2028. It is based on my what is pension? My pension age. So in the past, before I got my professor, I should be retired this year. But fortunately, I got my professor, and then I still have time till 2028. Yeah. This is our research. The blue is our research, and then the green one is the community services, and the what is the orange or the pink one is the output and outcome of our activities, both research and also community services. I think in the coming future we can do collaboration both in research and community services, yeah, hopefully, yeah. Yeah, in doing community services, we face some challenges. The first is the limitation of time, human resources, you know, as I informed you before, that at the same time, we should do 3 mandatory tasks, including education, research, and community services. And at least for each semester, we should report what we were doing in research and community services. So it is quite hard for us, for the lecturers of Indonesia. That's why at the same time, actually we face the opportunity to do collaboration widely, both nationally or internationally. And today I really appreciate to Politeknik Negeri Ujung Pandang. Why? Because at the same time, at the same seminar, at the same conference, they put research and community services equal. Yeah, thank you so much. So I think it's time for us to, to make community services as important as the research, I think. Untuk bahasa kita mungkin membangun amal jariah, ya, sumber pahala jariah through community services. And I'd like to inform you that in the coming future, in 2025, hopefully, the Ministry of Higher Education will launch the grant for international collaboration on both research and community services. So I think today we have already, evident the signing of MOU. I think it is a good start to build collaboration in the coming future. Yeah, besides the challenges, at the same time we have the opportunity to collaborate interdisciplinary, I'm civil engineering, and then Prof. Hattori also civil, and Prof. Lon accountancy, So although we have different field of research focus, but actually we can collaborate our expertise to do more beneficial research and community services. Yeah. I think, okay, thank you. 5 minutes more. Here is the model that we try to build about the international collaboration on community services. Actually, I did the later chat with Professor Noraza about the opportunity to do collaboration in the coming future, soon in the coming future, to implement this model. So we can build the collaboration both locally and internationally. So we have some partners, industry, and then BUMN with their CSR, and it is not little, yeah, it is big, yeah, big value of CSR from BUMN, and also NGO and other charity funding resources. There are a lot of, yeah, especially after UN launched the Sustainable Development with 17 goals, such Prof. Lon already presented before. So firstly, we build collaboration with local partners. And then together, we try to build overseas collaboration. And then the target is economic transformation, yeah, to develop our empowerment of the UMKM in Indonesia, which reached the number about 64.2. Yeah, the number of UMKM of MSMES in Indonesia reached about 64.2 million. So take about 99% of all the enterprises in Indonesia. So it is a very big opportunity for us to do the collaboration with local and also overseas partners. I think there are a lot of charity funding resources grant, yeah, that we can try to apply and then do something bigger with the benefit for the environment, yeah. And the important thing to build trust and also to build strong collaboration with our partners, we should do analysis of the impact of our finding and then disseminate it so that all our partners can duplicate the good practices that we have already implemented to empowering, to enhancing the capacity as well as the global competitiveness of our UMKM. And it is just small sample that we have already done from our previous project and also this year still ongoing. Yeah. So with this number, with this evidence, I'm sure that our partners can, you know, we can encourage our partners to do investment for the benefit of them itself. Yeah. Yeah, it is, I took some community service grant, both nationally and internationally. There are a lot of grant actually, and we can build collaboration to apply this and you know, to apply this opportunity and do something better in the coming future. Yeah, I think now is the conclusion. Yeah, the role of micro, small, and medium enterprises is crucial for the national economic. Yeah, and then academia, university have the opportunity to contribute to strengthening the capacity and competitiveness of UMKM through community service activities. The new paradigm of community service is based on research finding. Again, based on research finding. So at the same time, we can validate, we can make sure that our finding can give the positive impact. Yeah? We can take part in the national economic growth. And then implementing circular economy principles can minimize resource use and waste without compromising the quality, the product quality. Of course, it is something not, you know, too bargain, yeah, the quality should be the first priority. And then best practice should be widely disseminated, allowing university to contribute to the national economic while enriching educational material for the student, thus reflecting the Tridharma concept of higher education. I think that's all for my presentation. Thank you for your kind attention.
Thank you very much, Prof. Lili. Next, we move to Professor T.S. Dr. Norazah Abdul Rahman. Time is yours.
Thank you, Prof. Siddiq. Distinguished guests, my fellow keynote speakers, Prof. Lon, Prof. Hattori, Prof. Dr. Lili, Dr. Dharma, and the organizer, my colleague from Malaysia, Puan Shazwani and Encik Rafizi, ladies and gentlemen. So it's quite challenging for me to give this presentation because I'm the last presenter and also it's near lunchtime, but I will try my very best. So my presentation will consist of two parts. Okay, thank you so much for the invitation for me to deliver. Do not move? Down. Yeah, okay. This topic, pyrolysis, transforming waste to wealth for sustainable solid waste management and energy generation. So I will present into two sections. The first one, I would like to introduce you to my institution. Okay, my institution known as University Terjemara. Our chancellor is the King of Malaysia, and we will change our chancellor every 5 years, because Malaysia will change the king every 5 years. And the Vice Chancellor is Professor Datuk Dr. Sharin. So we claim we are the biggest university in Malaysia. One main campus, 3 of us came from the main campus, 13 state campuses, 21 satellite campuses, and the total campus is 35. So we are almost everywhere in Malaysia. So you can see that's the map of Malaysia. So if you think that you want to go to East Malaysia, you just let us know and we will accommodate you.
Wow.
Okay. I'm having problem with this. Okay. So we have 515 academic program, 1 million graduates, 19,000 staff, and 174,000 enrollment. Okay. Okay, so we are comprehensive university. So we have medical up until art and design. So we can collaborate with everyone. Okay, so we have 158,000 full-time students and 15,000 part-time, and we have a lot of Indonesian students with us. Okay, so since we are focusing on diploma and undergraduate, so we have, but nevertheless, we have 18 subjects ranked in QS World Ranking. Okay, we have 3 teaching hospitals. We have our solar farm projects. We have our solar panel, 61 megawatt and 31 megawatt, and 7 of our campuses equipped with photovoltaic solar rooftop, and we save 1 million per year with this initiative. So you are most welcome, because sometimes other facilities is difficult for you to join, to visit, but for us we are open. Okay, so come and visit us. Okay, I would like to share in my organization, we allow industry to be in the university and we partner them with our researchers. So we have 10 industries with us in the university. Okay, and apart from that, we also have a spin-up and startup company. 2 spin-off and 11 startup company, which is the researchers themselves. Okay, I would like to highlight, we have MOA with Indonesian partner. This is a research grant, strategic research partnership. And total 27 of these universities, total of 2 million ringgit Malaysia. So we have the grant, so please, do work with us. I always say that I'm rich because in my my department, we handled nearly 90 million research grant. So, especially for the partnership grant, okay? This is just for Indonesia. Okay, so now I'm talking about my presentation. So I will touch into 4 scopes: current scenario of solid waste management and energy sustainability, solid waste management methods, conversion of solid waste to energy, and also the conclusion. Okay, so the World Bank said that waste generation is expected to increase by 70% by 2050, reaching 3.4 billion tons annually. And we have to have this systematic solid waste management, and at the end of the day, we want to have it, to convert it to energy so that we can sustain the energy. So I will make my presentation fast because we are lack of time, and I know that you are running for your lunch, okay? But the most important thing is I hope that you can get the message that I try to convey. So these are the current scenario of solid waste in Malaysia. 43% are organic waste, and we dispose 39,000 tons daily, and majority of the organic waste come from food waste, which is 30%. Okay, there are several solid waste management methods. The most famous solid waste management method are recycling, landfill, and also incineration. But unfortunately, they have their own disadvantages, and this morning, I will talk about energy recovery, which is thermal conversion technology, another type of solid waste. So what I'm going to present this morning is about solid waste management through pyrolysis. It's a thermal decomposition process occur in the absence of oxygen. And the most important part is, when you are using pyrolysis, you can convert your raw material into 3 types of material: solid, liquid, and gas. If you incinerate, by using incineration, you will have your steam goes into electricity, and you have ashes, which is harmful to the environment. But for this process, it will consist of 3 other products that can be used for other material. So there are 3 types: low, intermediate, and fast. So here you can see that your pyrolysis operation depend on what products do you want. Okay, and you can manipulate your operation. For example, if you want to have charcoal, we always say that as a slow process. And then, for example, gases, definitely fast process. So you can see that the residence time is very short, the temperature is quite high for the gas. Okay, in my research group, we are focusing on conversion of solid waste to energy, and we are focused on thermochemical technology like pyrolysis, torrefaction, and microwave pyrolysis. So the first one, that we take the advantage of abundance of tire waste, wood waste, and plastic waste in Malaysia, and we convert that to selantic coal, because in Malaysia we still use coal, so we will not like to replace coal 100%, but we will like to reduce the application of coal. So first we start with using a very controlled environment where we use thermographic analyzer, where from here we study the thermal behavior of our waste. For example, we know that plastic is more reactivity as compared to wood and tire waste, and from this finding we know that we cannot combust this material directly. It's not efficient. And we know that from here we can advise the authority saying that you cannot combust this material directly. You have to change them to something else, and later you can combust with coal. And these are some of the published work that maybe you can just Google and read. Okay. So this is another research that we done, as previously we have done on plastic. So now, why I put this slide is just say that sometimes people say if you want to do research, you have to have a sophisticated equipment. But for us, we have a very modest, setup. where we obtain from plastic, we obtain 70% of the priority oil, and you know, we still won several awards. Okay, and we try to bring this to the community, because when they look at this, you know, they say, okay, we have this gas and we can set up very easily in the community. And we will try to modify this priority oil so that maybe we can use for the fisherman boat later. Okay, so apart from that, we also look at the other wood energy plant, for example, Lucina leucopella, petai belalang, waste, and we combine that with oil palm frond, and we would like to see whether we just throw the material just like that or we pelletize them first. And we find out that when we pelletize them first, it is more energy efficient, and you can improve storage and handling, and also you have higher combustion. So when we combust through these processes, okay, we use torrefaction, which is low temperature, around 300 degrees Celsius, and we got that char. And then we will mix this char with the coal, and we will get a very good fuel. So from here, we use torrefied, converted raw material pellets into good quality and energy densified biochar. And we find out that this coal is much more better than Mukah Balingan and Andro coal. And the CV increased from 17 to 19 megajoule to 26 megajoule per kilogram. In order for you to have a fuel auto at night, the CV should be more than 21 megajoule per kilogram. So we would like to suggest that this is an alternative to the fossil fuel in a coal-fired power plant in Malaysia. So these are some of the published work. Okay, just now we have the energy plant and also the one of the oil palm waste. Now we try to use 3 types of biomass, because you know that the first is Indonesian, the second is Malaysia, high producer of palm oil. And we know that the palm oil industry generates approximately 85 to 100 million ton. Sometimes they use it as fertilizer, they use it in the furniture, but we would like to value added this waste, so we would like to suggest to convert this waste into fuel. So when we combust in this tube furnace, for your example, when we use tube furnace, it's a conventional method. It's quite slow, but nevertheless, it can produce char that we want. So these are the solid products that produce from this tube furnace. Okay, so we find out that, you know, the CV of the raw material increased significantly, and when we do the research, we will suggest to the authority saying that, you know, we can use empty fruit bunch waste and also palm kernel shell, but not palm mesocoat fiber, because palm mesocoat fiber have no synergistic effect with the coal from this finding. Okay, as you know that we have now Malaysia, you know, 81% is by using the electricity is by using fossil fuel, and for coal we generate 44% electricity, and as you know, when we use coal, it's not good to the environment, so we would like to suggest our material inside this plant, fired power plant. And now, currently, they are using 100% coal, so we would like to have a combination of the material, waste material inside, combined with the coal, so that we can reduce the dependency of the coal, because Malaysia export coal quite high amount. Okay, these are some of the published work. Okay, so our research has got attention from Huangzhou University of Science and Technology, where we work together with them, and also with University Gajah Mada, where we've obtained RMB 3.3 million to produce the equipment to look at the agriculture product. Okay, just now we are using tube furnace, which is slow process. So we would like to take the advantage of microwave. This is an emerging technology. Up until now, we don't have a large-scale microwave pyrolyzer. And we know that we are using microwave because it is fast, we will have volumetric heating, and it is easily manipulated. So we start off with conversion of oil palm biomass, and by using the microwave pyrolyzer, and we obtain industry grant. Later, we extend the research into automotive paint sludge, yeah, and we've got 2 grants from there, and later we look into food waste, and lastly, we look at the use of Mashhaf Quran, how to, it's very difficult for me to use Quran, but usually we throw it, you know, we combust them and we throw it in the sea, kan? Okay, so these are the things that we use. We are using microwave. Okay, before that, I would like to show these are the microwave that we designed. It can accommodate 20 kilogram of waste, and we have already have utility innovation and also patent for this. Okay, this is for the palm waste just now, and these are the finding, and we find out that it is good. It synergized with the coal. It reduced the emission, and from the 3 waste just now, M2 fruit bunch is the best choice. And then we convert for microwave. Why we use microwave? Because we don't need any pre-treatment. We just use it as it is. For example, for automotive paint sludge, it has 70% moisture. If you want to incinerate or you want to combust, we have to pre-treatment, we have to dry it first. But by using microwave, water is the best component for microwave. For automotive paint sludge, you know, they produce 100 tons per year, and they have to sell the scheduled waste. Okay, they cannot throw it. They have to sell the scheduled waste to the authoritative that look into this scheduled waste. And by using this one, we can have pyrolytic oil. In my research, we are looking into pyrolytic oil. And if the paint industry, they put this microwave near the company, so they can have the solid, they can have the gas, which can be recycled back to the company, and they can also have the pyrolytic oil. And for the automotive paint sludge, it contains 50% of titanium. And this titanium, we have another research to look into the material for construction industry. Okay, so these are the findings. And you can see that the product that we have near has the characteristic of a diesel component. And you know that in June 2024, diesel is RM 3.35 per liter. And these are some of the published work. And okay, we also look at the food waste. So I think in terms of food waste, you know, everyone can have it in their house or in a village, where, you know, they can combust also this by using microwave. And we find out that the fuel, yeah, they similar to the coal, which is 23 megajoule per kilogram higher than the commercial coal. It means that the char or the solid produced from this microwave having better properties as compared to the commercial coal. That's the first one. And the second one, we are looking into biographene, the char, to convert them into biographene so that we can use as a superconductor and for electrical component. So these are some of the findings. And we looking into briquet, to make the char into briquet, and we look at the binder, and we find out that you know, it's workable, and we can reduce the amount of food waste sent to landfill. Okay, these are some of the published work. Okay, this is interesting. In 2022, we have been approached by one mosque. They want to use Quran. And we know that now, in order for us to dispose Quran by using incineration, and from incineration we have the ash, and we throw it in the sea. Okay, so by using this and the MOS, you know, they discuss and they came up with the fatwa, and they say that this process is harus. It's very difficult for me to translate into English. It's harus, and we will convert the solid product into ink, and we use the ink to write the Quran again. That one is circular economy, yeah. And these are the results. And we use an gauge for this to see the ink consistency and smoothness. We have the viscosity, ink flow, ink drying time, the ink addition to different type of paper, and now we are in the process of ink formulation and also optimization. Okay, I would like just to share with you the large scale pyrolysis. Okay, we have in Rotterdam, Netherlands, okay, where they convert 360,000 metric ton of non-recyclable waste, and they produce 220,000 metric ton of methanol. We have also in Germany, where they use pyrolysis for low-grade plastic waste, and majority of the pyrolysis they are using for material that is not recyclable. And we see that here they process 1,000 kilogram into 850 liters of synthetic crude oil. And then in Australia, okay, we have they process tire waste, okay, because they have, for example, for the passenger tire, we can produce 4 liters of oil. And for the larger truck, they can have 15 liters of oil, and you know, per year they produce 19,000 tons of, each year they process 19,000 tons of tire per year. So, no, just to show with you that it's workable, and we have the large scale pyrolysis process.
5 minutes to go.
Oh, okay, all right. And we have another plant in Australia where they convert the mixed municipal solid waste, you know, from 100,000 household into syngas. We know that syngas consists of hydrogen and carbon monoxide, not carbon dioxide. And then they use it to generate electricity. And from this, they can power 50,000 homes because they can produce 36 megawatt. So they can power 50,000 homes by using 400,000 ton of non-recyclable municipal solid waste. Okay, this is Malaysia. So Malaysia, okay, we still have, they produce 500 to 600 liters of pyrolytic oil. Okay, and just to share with you, why our project also is in the infancy, in the beginning of try to pyrolyze microalgae, and it is promising, and we are presenting it to the chief minister of one of the states so that we can use it for fuel. Okay, so my conclusion, solid waste to energy is possible, provided that strong support from the authority, government, industry and community. And my sharing this morning, I hope that you will not see waste as waste, but you see waste as wealth, money from that. Okay, the success to materialize the idea into real technology would be challenging. In case of Malaysia scenario, there is not many organization running the technology. Just now, I just only show you one company. So, you know, because we have a lot of resources, we still have our fossil fuel, we still have our hydro, and then, you know, the coal, the oil. So, in order for us to go into this area saying that, you know, you can transform the operation by using pyrolysis, I think maybe one day, when we have a strict regulation, maybe they can change the operation. Hence, I would appreciate if we could be together in putting our minds to spread the importance of utilizing the solid waste into wealth to the benefit of our nation. Okay. With that, terima kasih. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Prof. Nuraza. That's all delivery speech from our great 4 speakers. Please give a big round applause again. Okay, we learn a lot things from our great speakers today. From Prof. Lon Cummings, we learn the importance of water accounting, resources accounting, etc. From Professor Hattori Tsuyoshi, we learn how to understand our sky. From Prof. Lily, we could learn about the importance of community services for improving quality of life. And then from Professor Dr. Nuraza Abdurrahman, we learn how to utilize waste into energy. So, ladies and gentlemen, we will open the floor for question and answer. Because we are limited by the time, we might be split the question into 4 sections. 1, 2, 3, 4. So maybe for the first question could come from first section, please. Hands up your hand. Okay, the first question. From, please mention your name and your institution and for whom you will point the question. Oh, ada di belakang, Prof. Oh, you have to stand up, please.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Ladies and gentlemen, spesial Prof. Lili, Prof. Dr. Nuraza Abdurrahman dan all presenter. My name Muhammad Ansar. From Politeknik Negeri Ujung Pandang, special renewable energy. I am in stress a special presentation of Prof. Dr. Nuraza Abdurrahman because my field study same mechanical engineering. My PhD from University Teknologi Malaysia, Johor. My supervisor, Prof. Farid Nazir. Maybe Prof. Dr. Nuraza know him. Okay. I am sorry because I cannot speak English very well. I am sorry, I want to speak English in Indonesia mix. Usually in UTM, some like Indonesia, Malaysia, English. In this time, I want to speak bahasa supaya yang lain juga bisa mengerti dengan baik. Because if I speak English all, I'm worry the participant cannot understand all because I cannot speak English very well. Baik, mohon maaf saya tertarik sekali dengan materi presentation dari Prof. Nuraza. Saya orang mekanik, waktu saya studi di Malaysia, memang bidang saya kayak saya adalah biomass, how to convert solid waste, biomass, municipal waste to energy. My field study. Nah, ketika saya pulang di Indonesia ini, ilmu saya tidak berkembang. Oleh sebab di kampus saya laboratorium facility, it's very limited, sangat terbatas. Uji TJE yang Ibu sudah jelaskan tadi, thermogravimetric analysis, kami tidak punya alat. Nah, di Indonesia, so many strategy from government how to increase renewable energy mix. But satu kendalanya adalah bahwa di university ini terbatas sekali fasilitas tentang masalah biomasa. Ya. Jadi saya berharap kalau bisa ada kerjasama antara Politeknik Ujung Pandang dengan Universitas Semarang, khususnya dalam pengembangan pemanfaatan biomasa dan solid waste sebagai bahan pembangkit listrik, power plant, bahan bakar power plant, dan itu adalah sebenarnya bahan kajian saya. How to compare solid waste, municipal solid waste to energy for power plant, steam power plant. Nah, saya tertarik di Malaysia. Di Malaysia itu plastik solid waste tidak dibuang percuma, tetapi itu sebagai as fuel for steam power plant, like in Kajang. I think Prof. Dr. Narasa Kajang ya, steam power plant ya, dia menggunakan sampah plastik. Jadi sampah plastik sebenarnya bukan hal yang yang membahayakan, justru sebenarnya itu bisa jadi bahan bakar dan nilai kalornya itu lebih tinggi daripada minyak, lebih tinggi. Apalagi kalau dibanding dengan dengan sekam padi, apalagi tandang kosong kelapa sawit yang istilahkan EFB ya, EFB di sini namanya TKKS, tandang kosong kelapa sawit, itu belum dimanfaatkan dengan baik sebagai pembangkit listrik. Nah, target pemerintah di Indonesia, semua pembangkit listrik PLTU, steam power plant itu dalam tahun 2050 tidak ada lagi menggunakan bahan bakar, itu mesti menggunakan biomas ya, co-firing ya, dengan metodologi co-firing yang ibu istilahkan tadi co-combustion, itu kan sama saja, co-combustion dan co-firing, dan itu regulasinya pemerintah, dan diharapkan ini sebenarnya mandatori untuk power plant, dia harus menggunakan biomas itu minimum until 26%. Ya,
Baik Prof, mohon dipersingkat.
Saya belum,
Prof,
jadi saya baru bertanya.
Waduh, silakan Prof dipercepat.
Ini saya mewakili yang tidak hadir, banyak yang tidak hadir. Jadi pertanyaan saya Bu, bagaimana perlakuan misalnya di Malaysia tentang sampah-sampah itu, bagaimana proses pemanfaatannya sebagai bahan bakar pembangkit listrik, termasuk misalnya pemanfaatan sampah kelapa sawit ya, palm oil waste ya, sebagai as fuel for power plant. Nah, itu saya kira cukup.
Baik, terima kasih Prof. Mungkin langsung dijawab dulu Pak.
Saya jawab dahulu. Okey, terima kasih Dr. Farid Nasir ya. Okay, pertamanya saya
Prof Ansal.
Oh, Prof Ansal. Oh, Prof Ansal ya. Okey. Pertamanya, I'm very happy to see teruja melihat pelajar Farid Nasir di sini. Okey. Kami Farid Nasir itu mechanical, saya kimia, kejuruteraan kimia. Okay, just now we have already signing the MOU, so it means that you are free to come to Malaysia and we can have further collaboration. Okay, dari segi penggunaan alat itu boleh dibincangkan, tidak ada masalah. Dan di Malaysia, okay, renewable energy ni memang digunakan. Kita ada Felda di Pahang. Tidak ada pun plannya itu menggunakan empty fruit bunch, dan telah mengeluarkan electricity dan telah memberi manfaat kepada lebih kurang 500 rumah, dan itu telah dilakukan. Majority in Malaysia, we are still using fossil fuel, as I told just now, 81%. So, but there are still small company producing energy from the renewable and from the waste from the palm oil. And for example, we have Felda, because they have a lot of land and for cultivation of palm industry. So from the waste, they have another industry to look into, to convert the waste into electricity. So we have that already. We have several plants. And we have a strong collaboration with this industry also. Kalau Prof Ansar mahu melawat, maklumkan, kita boleh melihat the existing plant. Just now, I would like to offer to everyone, because UiTM, we are very big, and we have, I think, all areas under the sun. So just, you know, and I'm the Deputy Vice Chancellor taking care of the research and innovation. So when you just mention to me what areas you want to look, and I will find the researcher for you to collaborate. And we have some grant to give. Okay, thank you.
Wow, thank you very much, Professor Nuraza. Okay, the next speaker. Hands first. Yes. Kalau bisa to the point, Pak.
Sure. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning for everyone. My question like to address to Prof. Lorne presentation. The presentation is about water accounting, and I'm surprised that the financial report could be in physical terminology, right? And my question is about, is it possible the physical terminology in financial report could be implemented in stock exchange? Because nowadays in stock exchange normally use financial report rather than physical report. That's the first question. The second question I address to Prof. Lily. I will use Indonesian language about it. Tadi Bu Lily itu banyak mensinergikan antara penelitian dengan pengabdian, tapi pada UMKM. Nah, apakah ada strategi bagaimana supaya penelitian dan pengabdian ini menjadi income generating bagi university? Karena kalau UMKM, mostly university spending lot of money for them rather than we get money from UMKM. Jadi bagaimana supaya kerjasama ini justru bisa menambah income bagi khususnya BLU dengan PT MBH, karena tantangan ke depan ini BLU PT luar biasa, Bu. Saya kira itu, Prof. Sidik. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you for the question. I think the stock exchange still uses monetary assets. So I think it'll be different. I can't see anything in the near future where we would use water accounting reports in the stock exchange. However, you can still use water accounting reports to judge, in a sense, how public utilities manage their water assets. So how they're managing wastage, how they're managing flows. So it's still an accountability mechanism, the same way as a profit and loss or a balance sheet or a cash flow is an accountability mechanism. I'd like to think that in 10 or 20 years' time, that we'd be able to capture not just water, but also pollution, also salinity, in some type of accounting format. So I see water accounting for water using the water accounting reports that we see here as only one aspect of a complete sustainability accounting system, where we could also incorporate pollution, land loss, salinity, everything else. So, but I think it's very, very difficult to cross over between the physical units and the financial units. And at the moment, with the stock exchange, it very much focuses on share prices and the like. But however, there is indirect effects in the sense that the movements in water flows or the movements in pollution, for example, increases or decreases, can have financial effects. So that's the indirect effect. But the direct effect, probably not. Yeah, that's the comment.
Bapak sudah dengan jawaban beliau? Sudah, cukup ya. Baik, kalau gitu saya ingin juga merespon dari pertanyaan Bapak. Mohon maaf tadi tidak sebut nama ya, tadi pagi sudah ngobrol tapi Pak Sidik, nama beliau? Ya? Mas? Sirajuddin, ya Bapak. Terima kasih atas pertanyaannya. Thank you for the question. So, how to generate income in building collaboration between university and UMKM ya. Jadi dari data-data tadi Bapak Ibu, jadi Bapak Ibu semua ya, saya kira ini pertanyaan beliau adalah mewakili Bapak Ibu juga, bahwa banyak sekali laporan report ya dari berbagai negara termasuk negara-negara maju bahwa ternyata UMKM itu lebih tough di dalam mempertahankan usahanya ya. Jadi salah satu evidence-nya itu adalah pada saat COVID ya, pandemi COVID-19, bahwa ternyata justru UMKM inilah yang bisa bertahan begitu ya dibandingkan dengan perusahaan-perusahaan besar. Dan jumlah dari UMKM itu di Indonesia nih khususnya ya mencapai hampir 65 juta usaha jadi perusahaan UMKM. Nah, bagaimana menghasilkan income generate? Nah, dari hasil-hasil research kita, the findings of our research including appropriate technology, kalau itu diterapkan di UMKM, kemudian Bapak juga mendaftarkan untuk memperoleh paten, maka itu bisa menjadi income generate dari situ. UMKM itu tidak hanya kecil loh Bapak, yang mikro saja itu kalau menurut undang-undang ya, omset dari micro enterprises itu omsetnya itu per tahunnya itu lebih dari 2 miliar. Itu baru mikro, belum menengah atas begitu ya. Nah, kemudian kalau kita mendorong UMKM menghasilkan produk ekspor, itu juga sangat berpotensi. Nah, selama research dan community services itu sebenarnya banyak funding resources ya Bapak Ibu. Jadi termasuk dari BUMN. Kalau research kami mulai dari 2013 sampai dengan sekarang, it is about the water protection project ya, Bali Water Protection Project. Kita memperoleh funding itu dari berbagai negara Bapak. Even the tourists ya, personally and spontaneously they give funding to build, let's say, okay, I contribute for 2 rainwater harvesting wells. It is directly, and because we already keep the patent, so we can get the apa namanya Pak? Dari paten itu kita bisa apa Pak Sidik? Royalty, yeah, from the royalty. And until now we have already built more than 300 rainwater harvesting wells as one of the findings of our research. So from 2013 to 2024, we already developed 4 types of rainwater harvesting wells, and ya itu bisa menghasilkan income generate bagi university. Nah, di sisi lain sekarang untuk BLU dari itu kan untuk validate ya Bapak. Pada saat dengan UMKM itu untuk validate, untuk membuktikan secara empirik bahwa okay, the finding of our research can give the real impact for economic. Pada saat itulah kita bisa hilirisasi lebih luas. Kita jual Bapak. Setelah hasilnya itu terbukti bisa memberikan dampak positif. Nah, itu merupakan building trust ya from industry. Salah satu through the community service activities we can building trust about our findings of the research. So here is the data, the qualitative data about the impact of the findings of our research, about the product of the research, yeah. And then at the time, if we already, validate our finding, then ready to commercialize it, yeah, commercialize the product. Mungkin itu jawaban, mudah-mudahan bisa menjawab pertanyaan Bapak ya. Terima kasih.
Okay, next, Prof. Sugiarto. To the point, Pak.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. I have two questions for Professor Hattori. Yeah. Actually, it is nice to know that Japan is really advanced in modifying the weather. I'm curious whether so far your experience in modifying weather like this, is there any potential long-term environmental consequences of large-scale weather modifications? Probably there is something that like unintended impacts on ecosystems or climate systems. And the second one is, what are the current technological limitations we have of weather modifications, and how can we overcome that limitations to improve their reliability and also the accuracy of the system? Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. So, thank you very much for very important questions. Yeah, as for the first question, so yeah, we understand that this technology has a potential to have a severe impact also on environment, but one big issue is no researcher from the field of environment engaged in this project. So now I'm trying to involve environmentalists in our project. Yeah, but that's right. And also, we try to develop the concept of weather commons, and I think the multi-species weather commons. So also, weather commoner is not only human being, but also a tree or a forest or a mountain, and multi-species also can contribute to the development of commons. So we need to analyze what kind of influence of each, not human being, but species stakeholder into common development. And sorry, second question is about
regarding technology.
Sorry,
the limitation of technology with current we have regarding this issue.
Yeah. Of course, it's a limitation of technology, and also, we should inform citizens of such kind of limitation, because without that, without that, resident tend to rely excessively only on the new technology, but that I think it's a tragedy, because the weather control technology has also some can work under some specific condition. So it means it doesn't work for all phenomena, natural weather phenomena. So we need to understand the limitation of technology. But it's difficult to convey such kind of limitation to citizens. So I think it's a very important research for future.
Thank you very much, Prof. Hattori. The last question, maybe from behind. Please come up. Pramudia, Head Department of Business Administration Study Program.
Thank you very much for this very good opportunity. So I would like to address to our keynote speaker, one from Australia and the other one from Malaysia. I have two country study actually. From Prof. Long coming here, you are expert in the qualitative research. I really want to know, how do you promote the small case study to bring a very big implication. How do you do that? Because I found it very difficult to do in my institution. Sometimes they cannot accept it only one small case, and then it will bring a very big impact. They tend to want to generalize something. So could you let me know how do you promote this kind of method? The second one is, when I was in Malaysia, I was really interested how the University of Malaysia to make a link and match between the industry and the university. For example, what you told us just now, that you are able to invite the industry to come to your university to work together and bring positive impact to your institution. Will you please to tell us the strategy to do that? Thank you very much.
Terima kasih, Pak. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Prof, for your question. Regarding case studies, yes, sometimes there's bias against case studies in terms of publication, but I find the best case studies are those taken from real-world events. And so, as mentioning yesterday, when choosing a case study to study, oftentimes if you're reading the press, the newspapers or the TV or the radio, you will get real-world issues that are happening in sustainability. It might be a sustainability spill, it might be issues around pollution, and then you focus that, and that I find that leads to a more interesting case study. So you're choosing a topic that is of real interest at the moment in society, and maybe there's a company there. The second issue, however, with that is getting access to the company, because sometimes if it's a problem, if it's around pollution or it's around environmental spillage, the company will be very resistant to talking with you. One way I find to allow organisations to talk with you, or for them to be a little bit more open, is to go and in your initial conversations with them, talk about how you're there to help solve their problems. So it's not necessarily reporting a bad thing. It's there to report, in a sense, you're undertaking research for the benefit of society, and you're trying to understand their processes, and you're giving them an opportunity, in a sense, to participate in the research. I think if you take that approach, then and you're out there talking to companies, and you're saying to them, you know, and they see you as they sometimes can see universities a bit of a pain to deal with, what's a hassle, but you're there to generate research and knowledge for society. Appeal to that higher ethic in them, but sometimes if it's a really problem issue, you might need to wait 6 months or 12 months for things to calm down before you can go into the and maybe undertake interviews with them or undertake surveys. If you find you can't do that, there's still secondary and third sources that you can use to formulate your case study. So these could be, for example, newspaper articles or industry reports that you can use to help write up your case study. But ideally, you would want to use people within the company if you can. Always de-identify them. You never mention them by name. You mention them by their title. And I think, but it can be difficult. But I think I find with qualitative research, as I mentioned yesterday, particularly around case studies, you get a lot more richer data because you're getting a human interaction. And I mean, I'm coming from a discipline of accounting, and accounting is a social science, unlike biological sciences or unlike physics or chemistry. So social science, it's all to do with about human perspective. Even when it comes down to accounting, you know, what we choose to value, what is value, is very much dependent on human judgment, what we consider expense or revenue. So yeah, so I would encourage you to be persistent, but choose topics that are I think of relevant in the media, and then you build your case around that, because that that can help you motivate your study, but it also allows journals to see what you're doing as a very contemporary issue, and that's part of your motivation. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much for the question. Okay, my personal view. The first one, we should have a very clear direction from the top management. Okay, clear. Mahukan industri, mahukan community engagement. Okay, itu yang pertama. Jadi apabila sudah clear itu, semua orang work as a team. Dari saya, Deputy Vice Chancellor, sehinggalah kepada pensyarah, sehinggalah kepada semua warga. Jadi apabila mereka pergi kepada industri, kami mengatakan suatu perkara, semuanya akan memberikan satu perkara. Contohnya, daripada pelajar-pelajar undergraduate, they have to go industrial training. So when they go industrial training, they look for the problem, and they went back. They tell us what are the problem, and we have this grant. You know, we provide small amount of grant for this to solve the problem, just to get some trust from the industry. And then that's the first one. The second one, definitely we have panel industry to look at our curriculum. So when we talk with them, not only about the curriculum, but also we promote our areas of research. And the third one, we have to remember our alumni. Okay, our alumni also, they work with the industry. So when they know about our research, definitely they will come back to us to solve the problem. And apart from that, we also have activities, you know. For example, for UiTM, we've got B Spotlight, where we invite the industry, and then the researchers has to pitch their product, and the industry is there to see whether, you know, the area match with each other. And after that, you know, they discuss, and then they will provide the grant. Alhamdulillah, we managed to pitch. For example, I myself and others, we pitched to the industry, and the biggest grant that we obtained from Petronas is about 32 million in 2022. We have a problem because when they look at the university, they thought that we are doing fundamental research. So they give us, let's say, 1 million just to see whether we can solve their problem within a very short duration of time. And our researchers has to show to them that we can do the work. And from that, it's 37 projects, you know, because they trust us, so they give it to us. Okay, I would like to just to share with you one blunder or one mistake that I've made. I gather all of them, the Petronas, I gather all the project, so the big boss came, and they look at us, and they just realized that they give us the highest amount, and they didn't give to others. So for the next year, we got reduced budget. So in the future, don't show off, you know. Just keep quiet. Okay, just to share with you. And then we also have, government also have several grant for us to work with the industry. We have, they call it My Lab, 1 million, they give it to us. And then we also have 50 million distributed among the university. And for UiTM, we've got 5 million for us to work with the industry. It's not easy. We have the proposal, and then the researcher and the industry has to pitch. And then the government will look whether is it suitable, or is it workable, and after that they will give the grant. So it means that government also play their role in you know, getting together the researcher and the industry. Yeah, so I think that's a lot of work. But the most important thing is the support from the government, the support from the top management is very important. Okay, thank you.
Dharma, one more question or time is over? Okay. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, time is over for this section of plenary talks. Let's give a big round of applause for our great speakers. And thank you very much for Professor Norazi, Prof. Lily, and Prof. Hattori, and Prof. Cummins for your attending and your great presentation and very nice presentation today. I hand over to the MC. Okay, thank you very much. Time is yours.
Thank you to the all keynote speakers and for the moderator.
Terima kasih kami ucapkan kepada seluruh keynote speakers dan moderator.
The next agenda is the certificate awarding and token of appreciations for the keynote speakers. To Vice Director of Politeknik Negeri Ujung Pandang and Head of Committee and Head of Research and Community Service Centers, Dr. Engineer Abdul Qadir Muhammad, we kindly invite you to the stage.
Agenda selanjutnya adalah penyerahan sertifikat dan tanda penghargaan apresiasi yang akan diberikan oleh Wakil Direktur Politeknik Negeri Ujung Pandang, Ketua Panitia Penyelenggara, dan Kepala P3M Politeknik Negeri Ujung Pandang, Bapak Dr. Engineer Abdul Qadir Muhammad, dan kami mengundang dengan hormat untuk maju ke depan.
We cheerily invite the keynote speakers to stand.
Dan kami mengundang kepada seluruh keynote speakers untuk tetap berada di atas panggung.
The last agenda is taking a group photo. We kindly request to the all keynote speaker to stay on the stage.
Selanjutnya akan dilakukan pengambilan foto. Kami harap kepada seluruh keynote speakers untuk tetap berada di atas panggung.
Distinguished guests, we have reached the conclusion of today's event. We extend our deepest gratitude to all speakers for sharing their knowledge, to the organizing committee for their hard work, and to all participants for their active engagement.
Hadirin yang terhormat, kita telah sampai pada penghujung acara hari ini. Kami mengucapkan terima kasih. Selanjutnya akan dilakukan sesi foto bersama. Kami berharap kepada seluruh peserta untuk dapat berdiri.
Yeah. Thank you to the all participants, keynote speakers, and all participants. And now I am Citrawardani Ardiati, along with my colleague Yunus Zainlet Nivinluri, as Master of Ceremonies for today's event. We would like to thank you and apologize for any mistakes made during this event, whether intentional or unintentional, especially for the delay issue of the event that was happened.
Saya Yunus Zainlet Nivinluri bersama dengan rekan saya Citrawardani Ardiati selaku pembawa acara pada hari ini mengucapkan terima kasih dan memohon maaf atas segala kesalahan yang terjadi selama acara berlangsung, baik yang disengaja maupun yang tidak disengaja, khususnya atas keterlambatan agenda acara kita pada hari ini.
Thank you for your kind of attention. May today's event bring blessings for all of us, and see you at the third MCAS 2025.
Akhir kata, terima kasih atas perhatian para hadirin sekalian. Semoga hari ini membawa berkah bagi kita semua, dan sampai bertemu pada the third MCAS 2025.
Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Baik Bapak Ibu sekalian, ya alhamdulillah sesi yang pertama sudah selesai. Jadi silakan Bapak Ibu mengambil lunch-nya ya, makan siang di ruangan ini. Dan insya Allah kita akan lanjut pada sesi parallel session, presentasi dari semua bidang pada 10 ruangan ya. Insya Allah jam 13.00 pada siang hari ini. Kami informasikan bahwa ruangan panel 1 atau gardenia 1 sampai dengan ruangan panel 6 atau Daisy Hall itu ada di lantai 5. Jadi jika Bapak Ibu sudah makan siang, bisa segera ke ruangannya masing-masing di panel 1 sampai dengan panel 6 itu di lantai 5. Jadi diakses dari sebelah kiri ruangan ini, kalau kita keluar sebelah kiri itu naik melalui eskalator ke atas. Sementara untuk di ruangan ini, di ballroom ini akan dilangsungkan seminar parallel session untuk panel 7 sampai panel 10 dan VIP Legend 1. Ya. Dan insya Allah semuanya akan dimoderatori oleh para moderator atau room chairman yang sudah dituliskan di rundown MCAS dan SNP 2M. Dan insya Allah akan didampingi oleh 1 orang mahasiswa pendamping